Martha came from off the farm, ran right up, jumped in my arms. I said, "You're coming home with me today. Martha, you're the sweetest girl, an angel sent down to this world. I love you more than words could ever say. Every day is a new beginning."
Hello friends, and welcome to a new video. I feel like it's been a while. I unintentionally took a hiatus for like a month in January, and I didn't mean to, but I filmed this video twice already and didn't like either of those versions. The first one just like sucked, and the second one had some audio issues that I wasn't willing to fix. So here we are, third time's the charm. And if you're watching this, then you know that it was good enough for me to post. Hopefully that's the case. So my name is Kira. Typically I'm posting like studio vlogs and stuff like that. Today's is similar, but a little more specific. So back in December, I was seeing all of these videos pop up about people's 2026 journal ecosystem. And I had never heard this term before. I didn't know what it meant. So I started watching a bunch of these videos, and it is so cute and fun to see how people are using their sketchbooks and their notebooks and journals. And I was just having a blast watching these, and I thought it would be really nice to have an organized journal ecosystem, I suppose, where each journal or sketchbook that I use has a specific purpose and allows me to brain dump in a very specific way. So I sat down and I made a little list, and I figured out what journals I was already using regularly and what I wanted to be using more regularly. And this is the little stack that I came up with. It is 5 different books, each with their own specific purpose and style. Oh, I spit. And yeah, so this is what we're going to chat about today. These and some of the supplies that I use when I'm journaling. So it's going to be a really chatty video. And if you're not totally in the mood for that, you can save it for a different day. But I am glad you're here. I hope you enjoy. And let's just hop right in. Okay, so the first book that I would like to mention is my planner. I've talked about this book in at least one previous video, maybe two. But my planner is basically for obviously just everyday things, writing down appointments, keeping track of stuff. And the fun part about this is that I designed the pages myself. So this little binder I got just from Etsy, and it is just a little 6-ring binder. And I wanted one with rings so that I could just add pages in whenever I needed to. But the thing for me with planners is that every planner I've used in the past just doesn't work for me. Like, there's either something missing, or there are pages that I don't use and then waste and feel bad that I'm wasting space. So I figured if I just design my own pages, I can make it small and compact and just have everything that I want and nothing that I don't want. So we start out with the year marker, which I have decorated a little bit, and then we have a yearly calendar. This one I did not design myself. It just came with this little binder. I just felt like that would be a pain to lay out. So we have that there. And then in the front here, I have a list of books that I've read this year. It's not totally complete. I have actually finished 8 books so far this year already. And then we've got my name just for fun. And then each month starts like this. And I need to update it right now because clearly January is still in the front and it's now February. But I'll show you January because for some reason when I printed the February pages, I messed them up, so I need to reprint them. But we have the monthly spread, which I do use to write down appointments and stuff. And then once we actually get into the month, I just have the days laid out like this. I don't usually use like a weekly, like I don't need to see the whole week at once because my schedule is so weird and I change my mind about what I want to do so often that I typically just plan each day the morning of or the night before, and I only need like a couple days in advance. Otherwise I get a little overwhelmed. So I just did daily pages, and that's been working really great for me. At the end of each month, I have a little habit tracker. I need to still fill out the one for this month, but I'm not so good at tracking things like that. I just think it's helpful to have it in there just in case. We've got note pages just in case there's anything I want to write down. Each month I like to use these for writing down like monthly goals and things that I accomplished during the month. And then my favorite part of the pages that I designed is this little section in the back where I have movie review pages and book review pages. So I've only done a couple so far, but I like to print out a little version of the book cover or the movie poster and put it in here and write my review. I do keep track of these things on my phone as well, but I'm better with pen and paper. So in the back here, we've got a couple little envelopes, and inside this envelope, we have some more of those movie posters and book covers that I just printed out on regular paper. And in the very back, I have two little field journals. This one is a spending tracker, so I can track where I spend my money. I'm not really good at doing that either, but I should be. And then this one is a wish list, so it has a bunch of things in there that I'd like to buy when I have the means to. So that's basically what my planner is. It's nothing fancy, really. It's just a nice little place where I can write down notes each day, and I started doing some of these little junk journal pages in here, but we'll get more into that in a few minutes. Okay, the next book on the list is going to be my journal, and I've also shown this in a previous video as well, but this is my journal. I use the Luck Term 1917 journals. I buy them from Barnes & Noble, and I just really like writing in these because they have a really nice thin page, and it has a college rule. So this journal is where I write just like daily thoughts, emotions, feelings, other random little things, but it's typically just like a stream of consciousness, get it out of my head, put it on paper type of book. And I'm really picky with the type of pens that I use in here. Pretty much when I'm journaling, I have to use the exact same pen for the entire journal, or else I go crazy. I don't know why. So this is the pen that I've been using the most recently. It's called the Bic Click Stick, medium size. And it's really nothing fancy. Got a box of these, like a dozen of them for like $3 or something. And I don't know why, I just really like them. So this is the only pen that I use in here, with the exception of like, when I do write poems in here, just so they don't get lost, I'll put a little strip of color on the top of the page with a marker, and other than that, I'm only using this pen. All of the stickers on here are either from local shops or from artist friends who sell stickers, and I just think it's really precious. This is a book that I will probably finish within the next couple of months, so I'll have to replace it during the year, but I'm just going to use the exact same style of journal, just maybe in like blue or purple next time. So that's my journal. I'm not going to show you inside because that's personal, but you get the idea, I think. Okay, just a few more books to go. The next one that I'm going to show you is my sketchbook. So you've probably seen this in a previous video too, but this is the book that I've been using since I think last summer, and I'm actually really close to filling it up. I think I only have like 5 or 6 totally blank spreads left in here. But like I've mentioned to you in the past, I don't have a very good sketchbooking habit, and I'm trying to revive that within myself, but for some reason it's been really, really hard. Some days I make spreads that I really love, but most days I make spreads like this that are like nearly empty, and I just really like to give up when I'm sketchbooking. So one of my goals for this year is to not spend as much money as I have in previous years, which means not buying things, which means using up the sketchbooks that are sitting in my office, mostly empty. And I have quite a few of them. So as soon as I'm finished with this sketchbook, I will just grab another from my office and continue working in there. I'm not really picky about the materials I use when I sketch. Typically, like a lot of this year, I've really loved using a thick black pencil and a bright pink Prismacolor pencil, or like a brush pen and a bright pink pencil. I've also done some work in ink with like a fountain pen. Yeah, this paper is really nice, I will say. It's very thick, it's good for watercolor. I've used ink in it, and some of the other sketchbooks that I have are not like multimedia paper, which is kind of a bummer, but I can still sketch in them, you know? They don't have to be the best paper for me to be able to use them. And that way I will be saving money. So I already showed you this page, but yeah, this is my sketchbook. It goes with me most places, but I don't use it every day. I think it would be great if I did. But as soon as I finish those blank spreads, I'm going to go back in and try and fill up some of these that don't have as much, just to try and use it to its full potential. And then once it's full, I'll move on to a new one, and I'll show you guys that when I get there. This one is like totally random, and I have not used this book at all this year. Don't know if I even used it last year, but it is this gorgeous little book. I just got it at like a local bookstore. I think I've seen Barnes & Noble sell books like this in the past too, but it's shiny and it's so cute. And when I bought this book, I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know if I intended to use it as a journal or if I just thought it was pretty, because it is wide ruled, and like I don't journal like my like emotions and whatnot in wide ruled. I don't know why, I just don't like it. So at some point I decided that I was just gonna start writing story ideas in this book. I don't think I've really mentioned it on this channel before much, but I really want to write children's books and like middle grade novels and stuff like that. So I've had a few ideas in the past that I wrote down in this book, and I've decided to just use this as my like story writing journal. And every time I have like a little idea or want to flesh out a story, I will just start it at least in here. I have mentioned once in this video already that I am like a pen and paper gal. I cannot ideate with my computer or like while typing. I need to ideate with pen and paper. So that's what this is for. I recently read through the ideas that I have in here, and there are a couple that I'm actually still really excited about, even though I think I wrote these in 2024. So I plan to this year flesh out at least a couple of these and try to write a little manuscript, and I don't know if I'll publish it or not, but it's kind of one of my little hobby goals for this year, is to start writing and make that a bit more of a habit as well. Okay, when we were talking about my planner, I briefly mentioned junk journal pages, and for some reason, recently I decided that I wanted to have a junk journal. It's not a hobby that I've ever really had or like been into before the last few weeks, but I started making some little collages for my planner pages, and I felt like it was such a relaxing little thing to do. Like it's just like one of those brain off type of activities that I really love. And so I looked through my apartment, and what do you know, I had a blank journal, completely empty. I've probably had this since my freshman year of college, which was 10 years ago, and it had nothing in it. So the covers were very ugly. I don't know why I ever bought it. I don't know if it was ever my style, and that's maybe why I never used it. So I junked them up, and they're looking pretty snazzy. The back still maybe needs a little bit, but I think the front turned out pretty cute. And yeah, in here I'm just making a couple little spreads now and then. I've only done that one so far. Well, and I started this. It's not like something that I'm good at. It's not something I expect to like show people very often. And recently I've been gathering some supplies for this. So I have these little stamps with the alphabet and a little black ink pad, and I've been using that a lot in both the junk journal and the planner, just to add a little extra something that I can't do with my handwriting. I mean, I could write letters like this, but it looks cooler with the stamp. And then I've been collecting tons of like paper, junk mail, scraps, boxes from things, and either chopping them up and saving like the little images or little letters and numbers, or just keeping them kind of full just in case I want to use them as like a background. I have a bunch more random stuff in this little box, and I have like these little background papers. I've got scrapbooking papers. These actually were gifts for Christmas from Brett's sister. Really fun gift. I also have a small collection of magazines and catalogs from a local secondhand art supply store. And these just have like the cutest little things in them. These two in particular are like miniature magazines, like for dollhouse builders and stuff. So they just have like these cute little rooms. They have little houses in there. Really fun to look through and use for junk journaling purposes. The book covers and movie posters I showed you earlier, I print out just on a little page like this, cut them out, and that's what I do with those. And I recently got these little sticker books, which are really fun. This one has some stickers in it that I don't really love the style of, but if they're just going in like my planner or junk journal, then it's fine. And this one is like, it's stickers and activities, but it's all Valentine's themed. And I think that's really cute because I love Valentine's Day and I want to make a little Valentine's junk journal spread. So I'm really excited about this one. This one's from Barnes & Noble as well. And then the last couple things I think that I need to show you are these little packs of stickers that I really, really love. I got these at a local art store as well, and I don't know where they got them, but there's so many different styles. Each box has like a ton of stickers in it, and they're all little stamps. I don't know. They're like little stamps and little pieces of art. Some of them are a little more sheer, and some of them are more opaque. And I don't know, I just think they're really cute. I love being able to layer the sheer ones over other stickers or other pieces of paper. It just gives a really cute little effect. So that is like the main bulk of what I've been using to junk journal. And then I just use a glue stick and paste everything in there and squish the book closed and hope it stays stuck. And I'm really excited to see how this fills up over the year. I think it'll be really cute when it's all done. So that was all of my books, with the exception of this notebook, which is just a plain, simple, spiral-bound notebook, and anything that I can't put into one of these books categories goes in my notebook. And that is typically just like project notes or little random to-do lists or things that I just don't have anywhere to put. Yes, so each of my little books has a specific purpose for brain dumping, and I have felt, even though I've only been doing this for like a couple weeks, I have felt like it's really helping me keep my brain organized, and really helping me to get thoughts out rather than holding them in. I have never really been like a notes, like an iPhone notes app person. Like, yes, I use it and I keep notes in there, but everything gets lost so easily, and I forget things because they're in that notes app, and I don't want to look at that. I don't want to look at my phone to see my notes. So that's why I have all of these little notebooks and journals. I just really prefer pen and paper over digital note-taking. I always have, even when I was in school. I never used a laptop to take notes. It was all notebooks. That's kind of how I still operate, and it keeps my handwriting really nice. So that is one perk. I will say it's a lot to carry around, and it might seem crazy to some people to have 5 different books in my bag at once. It's been working for me, so if that changes, I'll update you maybe and tell you actually it's not working anymore. It's nice to have a physical reminder of your day. So I guess that's kind of it. I feel like that was a lot. Hopefully it didn't feel like too much to you guys, but thank you for watching. If you have notes or tips or things you want to tell me about your 2026 journals, let me know. I would love to hear. And I will see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.
Martha, where you